established Rich coming right back at you. Let's talk like men who have lived for a little while. The tension between 50 Cent and T.I. is not new. It's been humming under the surface for years. Paperwork questions, subtle jabs, small things that never really hit big. Not explosive, just constant. But February 2026 gave that humming a microphone, and it started a podcast. T.I. sat down on $1 million worth of game, and he spoke about a versus 50 Cent. He said he didn't believe the battle would ever happen. He referenced a conversation him and 50 had years ago in Los Angeles. He spoke as if they had an understanding about the verses. Then he made it clear he wasn't even interested no more. He said he didn't have no respect for 50's character. That last part is where the weight sits. When a man questions your character, he ain't critiquing your catalog. He's questioning your core. And that land's different in this age.
Even the first time when I was saying, and mind you, me and this nigga talk about this, bro. This shit, I ain't just called a nigga out the blue. Yeah. Me and this nigga talk about this.
Okay.
We talk about this. We said what we were gonna do.
You talk about you were 50?
Yeah, man. We talk about this shit, man. This shit just come out of nowhere. Nigga, we were moving around in LA, man, selling some TV shows and shit while we were around each other, man. You know what I mean? I said, shit, what you think about this? He was like, shit, you wanna do that shit? I said, yeah. He was like, all right, cool. So shit. And I told him, I said, well, I'm gonna jump out there first, and then you just gonna jump out there and we'll line it up. And he said, all right. And when I jump out there, nigga act like he ain't know what the fuck was going on. And to me, that just, so, at that point, then that's what it was about. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's about, oh, you playing? Oh, okay, you gonna play. All right, cool. Well, how about fuck all of it? Fuck all of it. I don't even want, man, cause now I question your character. Any nigga gonna get kick that kind of shit, then, man, nigga just say you don't wanna do it. All the other extra lame ass shit, man, this shit goofy.
So y'all talked about it, you saying? You went out there.
Years ago. Years ago we spoke about it.
I think it'd be a great battle though. I think,
man, that shit ain't gonna happen. That shit ain't gonna happen, man.
Once that clip hit the internet, it stopped being a story about two men. It became a public position. Whatever your personal take on the interview was, it put 50 Cent back into a narrative he's been avoiding. For about 2 years, he's been saying he's not interested in the verses. He said it plainly. He dismissed it. So when the topic came back with confidence and detail, it could have felt like his words meant nothing. And for men who built empires on control, being publicly framed as inconsistent is a problem. This ain't about who has more hits. This is about who controls the story. T.I. spoke like he was clarifying history. 50 could have heard it like he was being cornered. And when a man feels cornered in public, he don't always respond with restraint. Now, here's what my disappointment starts to show. Because both of these men are 40 plus. They ain't fighting for local recognition. They ain't fighting for lunch money. They are legends with multi-decade careers. They have businesses, children, brands, history. At some point, maturity should show up in how you handle disagreements. At some point, the temperature is supposed to drop faster. Instead, what we saw was the beginning of escalation, and it didn't even have to go that way. This should have stayed about music. It could have been a competitive exchange. It could have been a clean back and forth about legacy. That would have been entertainment. But pride has a way of pushing things forward, and pride don't care how old you are. When a man feels like his name is being played with, he starts looking for a way to reassert position. 50 ain't never been known for quiet responses. His strategy has always been visibility. When he strike where people can see it. He don't send private messages. And this is where the situation took a turn. Up until this moment, it was a beef between two artists. Then a post went up, and that post moved it outside of music. It was a photo of Tiny, and that's where the line moved. Now, let me be clear. I understand the frustration. I can feel a man who feels like his name keeps getting pulled into something he already said he don't want to do. I can understand being irritated after 2 years of saying, I'm not doing it. What I can't defend is bringing somebody's wife into a rap dispute. That's a different category. That's a different energy. When you post an unflattering image of another man's wife, you're not responding to business no more. You touching family. And family is a trigger that does not de-escalate. And this is where my disappointment deepens. Because these ain't 25-year-old artists chasing viral moments. These are men with sons. Tiny is the matriarch of the Harris family. Whether people like her or not is irrelevant. She is a wife. She is a mother. And when you pull her into an open fight, that door ain't never gonna close. Now here's the other side of the story we can't ignore. 50 has built his career on low blows. This is not new. This is his war style. He don't throw jabs. He goes for the soft spots. And the reason he does it is because it works. It forces a response. It creates headlines. But just because something works don't mean it was wise. Because this time, the response didn't come from T.I. first. It came from his son. King Harris went live and he went ham. He wasn't polished. He wasn't strategic. He was a son defending his mama.
We the wrong ones, nigga. We the wrong ones, nigga. I don't play by my mama. On my mother, I don't play by my mama. I wasn't raised like that. I don't play by none of the females in my family. Not my cousin, not my grandma, not none of that. I don't play about that. I don't play about that, nigga. Fuck 50, I don't give a fuck, nigga. Your fuck. Your mama dead as fuck. And if a nigga feels some type of way about that, jump. Jump. Simple. Jump. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Nigga talking about you a kid at 50. I don't give a fuck. Give a fuck. Nigga should never post my mama. Nigga should never post my mama straight like that. We don't do that. We don't do that. Real gangsters leave women and kids out of it. Real gangsters leave women and kids out of it. So fuck that, nigga. Fuck that, nigga. We ain't keeping it gangster. We ain't keeping it gangster. So fuck it. Yo. So nigga wanna post my mama and then y'all looking at me like why I'm on TikTok live and nigga post my mama. So fuck it. We trolling. This ain't no streets. At this point, this ain't about the streets. Cause at this point we just trolling. So if we trolling, yo. If we trolling, yo, we ain't getting gangster. We trolling. That's what we doing. Because that's what he want to do. So if we going to troll, yo, straight like that. Your son don't love you. You don't got no family. Nigga, you not loved. Nigga, you rich, but you not loved, nigga. Money means nothing without no one to spend it with. Yo, nigga, your son don't love you. And nigga, just for talking about my mama, I the fuck out that bitch ass just cause he share the same blood as you, nigga. I don't give a nigga, cause man, my nigga, at the end of the day, my nigga, I don't play by my mama. I don't play by my mama, I don't play by my grandma, I don't play by neither one of my cousins. Not one of them. Not one of them.
Whatever your opinion of his delivery is, the root of it is simple. That's his mama. And nobody gets to tell a man how to defend his mama. You can say he should have been more calculated, but anger don't wait for media training. Anger moves fast. Now here's where this gets dangerous. Because once a son is involved, it's not just two men anymore. It's generations. 50 responded with a meme. He laughed it off. But even that response kept the fire alive. This is the moment where a handshake starts feeling unlikely. Because now pride ain't the only thing involved. Protection is involved. Family honor is involved. And here's another layer nobody's talking about. T.I. has something very visible that 50 don't parade often. He has a large, loud, connected family. And he shows them. Whatever you see in that moment, it sends a message without saying words. It says unity. It says love. It says I'm not by myself. And in this beef, that visual matters. Because one of the subtle things being weaponized here is loneliness. T.I. and his son have both pushed that narrative. That 50 don't have what they have. That he don't have strong family ties. That all his relationships are fractured. Now, whether that's fair or not is a different conversation. But it's being implied. It's being felt. And when you start attacking a man's family structure, we ain't doing hip-hop no more. We doing personal psychology. This is why I said what I said earlier. The temperature shifted. It shifted from verses to blood. And once blood is invoked, apologies don't always repair damage. Because even if 50 apologized today, the image has already circulated. The son spoke already. The internet has already picked sides. This ain't no simple reset. This is a moment that reveals character on both sides. 50 showed he would escalate it without hesitation. T.I. showed he would defend his family without hesitation. And now we standing at a crossroads where the next move determines whether this just stays words or becomes something dumber. Because after T.I.'s family was brought into it, T.I. took it to the studio. 2 records in 24 hours. Not accidental. That's response energy. That's I'm not gonna let this sit energy. Now let me say this carefully. I respect competition. I respect men who can go bar for bar. Hip-hop was built on that. But what started to show up in the language is what disappointed me. When you 40 plus and you still referencing actual violence like it's still an option, it don't feel hard. It feels stuck. There was a time when that talk was part of the era. There was a time when that posture fit the climate. But in 2026, with kids watching and business on the line, threat energy don't sound the same. Sound like regression. And this ain't me defending 50. He opened the door he shouldn't have opened. But when you start leaning into it like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna bury you, I expect more than that. Especially from somebody who talks about evolution. Growth ain't just money. It's language. It's restraint. It's knowing what not to say even when you angry. And that go for both of them. 50 should have just kept it music. Instead, we watching two legends drift toward old versions of themselves. That's the part that bothers me, because both of these men have survived things most men don't walk away from. Both of them built businesses. Both of them turned street stories into boardroom power. And yet, when pride gets scratched, the language reverts. That tells me this was never about verses. This was about respect. This was about how each man sees himself in the mirror of the other. T.I. sees a man he feels reneged on a moment. 50 sees a man who keeps dragging his name back into something he said he ain't want to do. Both feel disrespected. Both reacted. One went for family, one went for threats. And we all sat back like it's entertainment. But this is what I'm gonna take y'all out. At this age, peace is a flex. Control is a flex. Discipline is a flex. Anybody can escalate. Not everybody can de-escalate. And if this continues, it won't be because of music. It'll be because two grown men refuse to let their pride die quietly. I don't expect moral perfection from 50 Cent, but come on. But I also expect T.I. to be bigger than his old threats. Because once you start talking about real world, you invite real world consequences. And nobody wins with that. The fans don't win. The families don't win. The culture don't win. All we left with is two legends looking smaller than their resumes. And that's the sad part. This could have been a classic battle and it turned into a family wound. This could have been about catalogs and it turned into a character assassination. And now it sits in a place that can't even be fixed with a handshake. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe. Establish Rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.